Welcome to another month of me covering every single movie that I've watched and maybe adding a little goofy spin to it. So let's go with every movie that I watched this month and would I live in that universe? Good Boy. What a movie that one was, man. I honestly clicked on that film for the meme. I didn't really know what to expect. It had Good Boy on the site that I was watching it on. It said Heel. That might be the other name for it. But what a movie. What a movie. Premise for this movie is basically you have this guy who is a delinquent, cheats on his girlfriend, does a lot of different substances, being disrespectful to public places and whatnot. But this all changes when he eventually gets kidnapped by this random dude and forced to live in his basement on what is essentially a leash. It is as weird and as bonkers as it sounds. What I wasn't expecting with this film is how wholesome it can be. It has a notable actor. The other ones I wasn't too familiar with this, but Stephen L. Stephen Graham you may know from like Snatched, Peaky Blinders. I haven't seen it. I'm currently looking at the IMDb thing for it. I'm pretty sure he's in Pirates of the Caribbean, but I could be getting him mixed up with someone else. But he's a very notable guy. You would recognize his face. This is his face right here. What a face. But yeah, he was really good in it, and he played the dad, and he played him in like this really sympathetic way that he really wanted the best for this dude, because it's like a rehabilitation thing. He's taken him to rehabilitate him and make him a better person, but there's like a deeper layer to it where it's really about his lost son. Ends up eventually having him do all the things that his son used to do, and it creates like this weird dynamic where it's almost like a Stockholm syndrome type thing, but it's just really weird and strange. It's not super disturbing, but it's disturbing in the sense that, you know, he's literally on a lead and like a chain and whatnot, and the movie doesn't go in the direction you would think for a lot of the scenarios. Like you would think creepy family, I've been kidnapped, they're gonna do weird things to me, but they do weird things, but it's all in a sense to make him a better person. And I'm very conflicted if that should be a good thing or a bad thing. And would I live in this universe? I think I would, because I think this probably already happens and maybe I wouldn't want it to happen to me. So maybe I wouldn't want to live in this universe, but I bet someone's on a lead right now barking for somebody. So that's that. This is called Over Your Dead Body, and it's a thriller horror comedy about these two couple that travel out to this location, both with the intent of killing each other for insurance money. It has Samara Weaving, this lady here, and Jason Segel, who is this guy here, and I believe they are a married couple. So it's kind of, wait, I could actually be wrong with that, but I believe they are a married couple. Someone around me has told me that they are a married couple, so it was like a fun little movie for them to do together out in this location. It's very funny, but not everything lands. I wouldn't say that I had a bad time watching it, but it's not typically one of those movies that I'd want to revisit over and over again, like other movies that I believe are on this list, but we'll get to those. But yeah, it was a good movie. There's really not much within its plot to really say outside of it's just these almost like Mr. and Mrs. Smith situation of them trying to kill each other throughout the entirety of the movie. Would I want to live in this universe? Would I want to experience this? No, definitely not. I don't want my partner to kill me. I wouldn't want to kill my partner. I just wouldn't want to do that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's just not something I really anticipate on doing in my lifetime. So that's that. Late Night with the Devil is fucking cool. Technically, this is an Australian film. I really liked it. I thought it was wacky and weird, not necessarily creepy, but smart in a way of its appreciation towards late night television. And I really enjoyed its setup for a lot of things. For the longest time, there's one dude, Carmichael Haig. Ian Bliss is the actor for it. Honestly thought he was going to be the devil for the longest time throughout that movie, and that adverted my expectations on what I thought this movie was going to be about. I found his performance to be one of the best of this movie. I really enjoyed it. It was shot exactly how you would expect a late night TV show to be shot, and how to sound and everything about that. And I really appreciate its attention to detail, especially as a kid. I used to grow up watching a lot of late night television, obviously late at night, and just seeing those hosts and stuff was one of my favorite entertainments growing up as a kid. But yeah, no, it was good. Would I live in this universe? I'm gonna give a hard pass on that one, man. The Substance, what a movie, what a movie. A very interesting body horror on the industry's standard for beauty and how chasing that beauty standard can lead you to become uglier than what you originally were, trying to fit the mold of something that you could never realistically obtain. The main actress or the main character for this movie is like beautiful, but she feels that she's not as beautiful, but the industry is trying to look for someone more younger or better, or she's in a position where she needs to keep proving herself long past her proving point, if that makes sense. It's really sad to watch this person try so hard to be perfect to the point where they become something so unrecognizable from what they once were. And it's tragic in that sense. It's not really a dialogue heavy film, like it's a bit cartoonish. The industry is kind of cartoonish and fake. Everything that's outside of the apartment has this fakeness and like this really claustrophobic feeling because she's essentially insecure with herself and walking through these streets afraid of being seen and afraid of being judged by others. And I really like that they used that sort of cinematography to really showcase that. That's actually one of the biggest things I love about this. This movie shot really well. If they wanted to make a character feel small, they use angles where they look smaller compared to who they're talking to. I'm talking a bit out of my ass, but I feel like that should make sense to what I'm saying, because I feel like I'm just talking nonsense at this point, but that is what the film's about, and I really, really like that portion about this film. It's one of my favorite ones that I watched on this list recently, and I believe all the actresses in this movie did such an amazing job, and they are all stunning and beautiful, and yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. All right, this is Jackson in the editing room. I forgot to actually mention, would I live in this universe? Fuck no. Fuck no. I would not live in this universe. What a terrible existence it is to live in the Hollywood industry. I do this a lot from now on, so you'll see me interject a little bit. Can't even stay on topic of my own videos. What a loser. Am I right, Rizzler? Oh yeah, what a loser. Get mogged. He agrees. Okay, time for something a little more wholesome. I recently watched Rental Family. What a gorgeous film. What a gorgeous, loving, and just wonderful time of a film. You basically follow this one dude who moves to Japan and is an actor, and he's been there for quite some time. He's done some commercials, and he's trying to get a big break working in the industry over there within a movie. In his struggles, he leads him to find this place where he enters into the rental family service and becomes basically a service, not like selling your body to, do those types of things. It's more so like he'll sell himself to provide a service where he'll be a husband for a day, or he'll pretend to be a journalist to interview this one dude to make them feel appreciated. And it has a lot to do with the culture of modern day Japan and just the weird little nicheness of wanting to fill a need and having a service for every need that you need, if that makes sense. There are some moments where you feel sad, some moments where you feel like, oh, something bad's gonna happen, but for the most part, it's just a really sweet movie, and it's not so textbook to the sense of like it being too generic, but it is predictable, and that's not a bad thing. It's just a movie where it's like a wholesome, fun time. I'm so glad to see Brendan Fraser back in the fold and acting. Like, the last thing I seen him in was The Whale, and he did such a phenomenal job in that film. A 10 out of 10, and I would recommend to anyone that is seeking something a little wholesome, a little sad, and that's that one. That's that one, dude. That's that movie, dude. I fucking love that shit. On to the next. Would I live in this universe? It's just Japan. I would 100% live in Japan. Would I do the rental service thing, however? Sure. That seems like a cool and fun job. I'm sure if they need a token white guy, I'd do that right now. What a switch up. It was my first time viewing this film. Obviously, it's one of the classics, and it is a movie that will forever be a classic, I think. To me, I found it really held up a lot in its horror department. I wasn't expecting it to hit notes that made me like uncomfortable and scared, because typically with older movies, sometimes they can be dated and not really hit the mark of what they used to when they were released at the time, but I still feel Texas Chainsaw Massacre holds up in that department. Obviously, it's just a guy with a chainsaw chainsaw and a creepy family and a bunch of teenagers that are going on a road trip. And that's pretty much the simple premise of this movie, but it is very effective in making you feel uncomfortable and scared. And I know it's based off real serial killers, and I believe Ed Gein, like, I think that's an official thing. It was based off Ed Gein, and that's probably what boosted this creepy factor that the film had. It got under my skin in the sense that the more I thought about how this is like tied to things and like where the inspiration for like the furniture and the masks and all that sort of thing came from, it really added to my overall just being kind of sketched out on this film. And I really, really like that, which is so, just saying that out loud is really weird, actually. Quick tangent. Why do we like being scared? I have no idea. Why do I like being scared? Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. I had a good time watching that film. Hell nah. Hell nah. I ain't living in that shit. I ain't doing that shit. That ain't for me. That is not for me. I watched it mainly because of this thing here. The memes associated with this thing are just so funny. And I was babysitting and I was like, what do I want to watch? Not what the children want to watch. What do I want to watch that the children can understand as a child? And I just wanted to know, I want to know the context of the Firewolf. And now I know the context of the Firewolf, and I'm happy about that. This is a very good movie. It does a lot of things that are fun. Then I watched Atlantis. Atlantis is absolute cinema, and I still can't believe that this, Treasure Planet, and Sinbad are some of the movies that just got swept under the rug because for whatever reason at the time, because these are actually some of the best movies. I know Sinbad is from DreamWorks, but I'm chucking it in there because it has that same sort of animation of 2D, 3D sort of vibe and storytelling. But these movies were good. Atlantis, The Lost Empire, Sinbad, and what was the other one I said? It was Treasure Planet. These are the best movies, hands down. Enough said. If you've seen them, you know how good they are. They are fucking awesome. And that's all I'm gonna say on those. You should go watch them. And chuck Brother Bear on the list as well, because that's also a banging film. I still can't believe that I fucked it up this bad that I had to do this for literally the remainder of the films on this list. But yes, I would live in this universe. I would live in Brother Bear. I would live in all those animated universes. And I think that brings us to the end of everything that I wanted to talk about. Beautifully done. Beautiful movies. Lot of... oh, wait.